Well, hello everyone. I am just leaving the shopping center. Had me some sweet pokey. That was my dinner today. And today's a milestone. I just crossed 1,502.4 miles, so 1,500 miles on my bike. And believe it or not, in 2 days will be the 1-year anniversary of my bike. So yeah, getting all that done in one time. 1,500 miles in 1 year. I think my daughter, she has an Audi, I think an 8.4 or something like that. I'm willing to bet that she has less than 1,500 miles on her for her first year in her car. So I think I'm riding more than she drives. Yeah, so go figure. Yep. Well, that's not that unusual. She's actually a flight attendant, and her only miles are going from the house to the airport, and then from the airport back to the house for the most part. She does some little shopping, but I think that's the majority of her thing is my mirror's adjusted here, is going back and forth to the airport 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah. Her first car, I think it took her over a year to get over 1,000 miles in it. This is her second car that she has now. But anyway, so yeah, milestone coming up in 2 days. 1-year anniversary of my bicycle adventures. It's kind of cool. And I'm still loving it. Still loving it. There's a big story behind me and what got me into the bicycle world, and I'm gonna make a recording of that right at the 1-year anniversary mark. You'll be a little surprised as to the driving force behind yeah, people are probably going to be a little surprised as to what the driving force was behind me going to bicycling. Yep. Okay. So it's going on 7 o'clock out here in Vegas. Today's Friday, August the 22nd. And, oh, my watch isn't displaying the temperature. I think today's high was supposed to be like 107. Let's see what it actually says here. It's 101 degrees right now, and the high today was 104. Okay, 104 today. So it's 101 right now at 7 o'clock. Dutch Brothers Ice Cream Shop. Okay. It's kind of odd. I think of, when I hear Dutch, think about the Dutch paint. So anyway, speaking of which, we just picked out the colors for our house that we're going to be painting. I'm going to start that 2 weeks from today. Yeah, 2 weeks from today is we're going to start the painting process, the 5th of September. And early next week, I think on Tuesday, we should get delivery of our new front doors. I got a double door system. And that's actually why I'm out right now, is that I was looking at the different door handles that I could put on my new doors, because I think I need to special order them. Actually, I'm no thinking to it. I just came from Lowe's and they didn't have it even online, and I went to Home Depot. That's where I'm leaving right now, the shopping center at Home Depot. It looks like I have to get a special order door. We got double doors instead of our existing door is a single door with 2 side lights is what it's called. So on both the left and the right hand side of the door, it's a little, I think 12 or 16-inch window that you can look in the side of the door, around the side of the doors and things like that. So I was debating on getting a replacement door that has the single door and the 2 side lights like what we currently have, versus a door with a double door. Because the spacing, the width rather, of the doorway, in my case, is 69.5 inches wide. And the door itself is 36 inches wide, and then the balance is taken up by those side lights and whatever molding is in between them. So I wanted to, this time, 36-inch door is a standard, pretty standard sized door, but I wanted to have a little bit more options. So I wanted to have the double doors that could open up, and it's 2 32-inch doors. So when you open them both up, you actually have a 64-inch width to bring things in and out of the house from. 64 inches. Can't think of anything that's gonna need that, but if I ever have a need for something extra wide to come in the house, I got that capacity. So that was my thoughts on it. And I like the look of the double doors as well. To me, it's a little more regal and elegant than the single door with the side lights. So that's why I went that route. But that'll be another video once we get it. It's supposed to be arriving on Tuesday, and we'll install it a day or 2 after that. What is this guy doing? All right. All right. A lot of traffic. It's it says 7 o'clock, so everybody's off work. Not everybody, but a good portion of the world is in Vegas is off work, so the streets are kind of crowded. And I'm pedaling all the way. Love my pedaling. Really builds up my leg strength, which is what's needed. Okay, what else is going on? I mentioned that yesterday I went to the Clark County Building Department try to get my permits moving further along. So that's on my to-do list. I actually stayed there until about a little after 5 o'clock yesterday. Thought I was going to stay. My intentions was to stay there and completely process the whole thing while I was on site, in case I ran into some questions or problems with any kind of answers to. But I realized I wasn't going to finish it all yesterday, no matter what. So I figured I'd just go ahead and pack up and pack up and just go home and do it at the house. So I'll go back and probably try to wrap that up tonight. Yep. And hopefully we'll get the green light very soon to get our permits issued. A permit. I'm only gonna do it for one at this time. Be able to order our materials and get our contractors in place, or laborers in place. I'm the general contractor, so. And start doing the real work. That's the real objective. It's been a long, long time coming. October will be 7 years that I bought this property out here in Vegas. And I had anticipated starting my add-ons 6.5 years ago. So I'm 6.5 years behind schedule according to what I had anticipated when I bought the property. Yep. And then now I'm doing it in phases instead of trying to do it all at one time. Piece by piece. It turned out to be a lot more complicated than I had ever anticipated. Yeah, I've gone over this a few times, I guess, but there was things that just completely was not taken into consideration that I just wasn't aware of that they do out here in Clark County. First of which was getting soil samples, and then having a grading plan put in place to make sure that the worst case scenario of water flow that comes onto the property after flooding type conditions, that we're able to dissipate the maximum anticipated rain flow that they spec out. We have to show that we could dissipate that without it going out to the public works area or impacting any of our neighbors. We have to be able to drain the maximum rainfall within our own property. So, and that calls for a lot of complicated designs to be put in place to be able to do that. So that definitely put me back about 1.5 years in that part alone. Then the other factors was my hospitalization with my neck surgery. That was 3.5 years ago. And then prior to that was the impact of COVID-19. Nobody wanting to work and everything was shut down, etc. And then prior to that, there was a whole slew of wildfires that had a tremendous impact on the inflating the cost of wood. So wood went up eightfold, 8 times it went up 8 times the amount that it was selling at one time. And so that was the first thing. And tried to wait that out, see if the price would come down and settle before I start getting into purchasing materials. Thinking I was going to purchase materials. I couldn't purchase materials, so I got all these other things that I didn't know about in place, but nonetheless. So bottom line is all these things back to back to back to back caused a 6.5-year delay. And where I'm at now. Woo-wee. So, okay. This is definitely a nice little workout today. I put in a good 40 miles today, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta look at my odometer. I have to go get some blood tests over at Quest Diagnostics earlier. And then from there I went to Lowe's. And then I went to Home Depot because Lowe's didn't have what I was looking for. And then went to my sushi place since it was in the same shopping center and hadn't been there in a long time. Really close to a year, if not more. So anyway, so there's a lot of zigzag driving around. But like I said, it's a good exercise. Woo-wee. One thing that's been occurring that I gotta look into is changing my hand positions because my hands started getting numb. Holding my hand on the handlebars the way I have them. I need to figure out a way to reposition the grips or maybe my sitting position on the bike. Because yesterday, towards the end of the day when I was riding, got to the point where my hands was going numb on me. I have to continually take my hand off and do my open and closes to try to keep that blood flowing and not getting numb. That's starting to happen again right now. So I got to look into that. I remember seeing a video from some gentleman talking about the way your brakes are positioned on the handlebar makes a big impact on how your hands are, and I think that's what I'm experiencing. So if you have your hand not in a straight position but in a cocked position, like your wrist is cocked back or whatever, like this, if your hand is in that kind of position, apparently it seems to have an impact on the blood flow. So that's when I think I'm experiencing these, the numbness occurring. So yeah. So if your hand is, you have your hands on the handlebar and your wrist is in a straight position, I think that's more natural and keeps everything going. But if your hand is in a cocked position like that for any length of period of time, I think it's cutting off the blood flow and causing a numbness. So I'm going to change the brake grips, the position that the brakes are on my handlebars, so that it keeps my wrist in a natural position. So I think that might have a major impact on it, because if you have your hands rested on those brakes and it creates that wrist in a cocked position, that definitely ain't working. After 30 miles or 45 minutes of riding, which is a lot less than 30 miles, but anyway, I start getting that numb feeling. So I think that'll, I'm gonna experiment with that adjustment when I get home. The other thing I noticed is today I had to do a little bit of maintenance while I was out here on the road because my front wheel kept feeling like it was wobbly. And in fact, it turned out that the front wheel axle, it has a little hand tightening device so that you quick release, let you take the tire off and on with just with the release lever on the wheel. But that was very, very loose. It was just literally, it wasn't tight at all. So the wheel was just sitting on the, pretty much just sitting on the, gosh, what do we call it? Well, it wasn't tightened down, so I had to manually tighten up the nut and then use that little quick release handle and get that tight to keep the wheel from, because literally if I would have picked up the front of the bike, the wheel would have just fallen right off. So a good thing I didn't go over a bump that caused something like that. That would have been a nasty, nasty accident. But I felt the wheel kind of twisting and torquing in different directions as I would make turns. And that's what made me suspicious of it, and that's why I checked it. And that's what it was. Okay. All right. What else we got going on? I have some visitors at the house. One of my cousins came into town. They have a new boyfriend. It's a girl cousin. So she has a new boyfriend that's from Florida, and he's never been to Las Vegas, so they decided to come up to Vegas. And I offered them a place to stay at my house. So they're out touring the town, showing the highlights and this and that of being in Vegas for the first time. So, yeah. So that's fun, having company. I always enjoy having company. Being the entertainment type of guy that I am. Yep. Okay, as I am closing in on my the end of my ride, I'm just going to go ahead and call it a wrap for the day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.